And hello there, Lights and Gear is here with another flashlight review, and today I've got something from Soonfire, which was one of their more recent lights that they wanted us to talk about. And the box is of a reasonably good size because the flashlight itself is about 6 inches long, so it's no mini light, but is still very pocketable and carryable. So on the Soonfire box here you get some information. Information here about how it basically runs, the operation of it, and down here it talks about the rechargeability function of it, because it is USB rechargeable and comes with a USB-C cable. Down here further is some basic specifications rather to its waterproofness, and here is its beam distance. It's also impact resistant, of course, and the top lumens is about 1050, and it goes down to 8 lumens as the low mode. So that's basically that in a nutshell. It also has flashing modes, strobe, and SOS. Low, medium, high, and turbo are the basic modes. So popping everything open. And here is the flashlight, which I say is about 6 inches long. On the other side of that is a holster, so that's a pretty good accessory to have if you like carrying your lights in a holster on your belt. Here is the USB-C charging cable that plugs right into the light, and this little accessory package has a lanyard and a couple of spare O-rings. So here you go with the light. Actually, let me take the instruction manual out of the box, which is hiding in there. And I'll just take a look at this for a moment. One thing, however, you might notice and you might not right away, but if you looked at it for more than a few seconds you might. It says here that it's powered by an 18650 battery or 2 CR123s, but that is actually incorrect. The light does come with its own battery, and to unscrew the tail cap you will find, actually let me take the head off since the pocket clip here kind of gets in the way of the tail cap a little bit, but to show you the battery I'll unscrew it this way and show you that it's a 21700. So they did make a mistake in the manual by saying it takes an 18650. And I did mention that to them, and they're going to correct it on future shipments. So this is a 5000 mAh 21700 battery that they furnish, 3.6 volts. So it's a good quality lithium rechargeable battery. It's a flat top. So that'll tell you that if you want to use a different 21700 in it from time to time, you can also use another flat top cell. Here is inside the head. And here is, oh, I didn't show you the inside of the tail cap. There's a very big spring inside the tail cap. And some nice knurling here on these threads as well. And there's also very aggressive knurling on the side of the light right here. So using this with wet hands or whatever, I don't think you'll have any problems there, since this is very aggressive with the textural feeling of it, so there's no chance of losing a grip on that, I would say. As I was alluding to a few moments ago, the tail cap, when it comes off, you have to keep twisting it because your hand keeps hitting the clip, but the clip is removable, but it's a good strong clip if you want to leave it on there. And inside the tail cap is a very big spring, so it will be a little more generous as far as perhaps the length of battery that you might be using. 21700 of course, but you know, some of them do vary a little bit if they have a button top or something. It is tactical. It's a tactical light. It has a rear switch right here and a side switch. So the rear switch will turn it on, and then the side switch will change the modes. And the side switch is also equipped with a light to indicate that it is on and that the battery is of good standing. The indicator here on the side switch will change color as the battery starts to weaken. So when it's good, it's solid blue. It'll flash when it gets down to a certain lower voltage, and then beyond that it'll start flashing red or turn red and then flash red when it gets really, really low. So this will be your indicator of that. And when you plug the USB in to charge, and here is the port right there, so when you plug that into charge, if it's low enough, it'll be red as it starts the charge, and then this will turn blue, obviously, when all is said and done with that. Alright, I can show you a little bit more of the manual here and the actual modes that it features. It has the ITS Smart Temperature Control System here, and the manual is a little bit different than some, so it doesn't lay things out quite as graphically easy as some other lights do. 650 is the high mode, and then 350 is medium. It goes 660, 350, 650, and 1060. So, and I apologize for the magnifying glass here, but it's so small it's hard for me to read. So as the manual indicates, it'll hang on to turbo for about 3 minutes, and then it'll kick down to the better portion of high mode. And I have timed it, and it does pretty much kick down after about 3 minutes, but unlike some lights, it's pretty drastic. It's not a subtle drop. So just be aware that after about 3 minutes it just suddenly kicks down, and you'll certainly notice when that happens. But other than that, it hangs on to the other modes for a reasonable amount of time and does pretty well as far as the other modes are concerned. So let's show you the operation here. So again, to turn it on, you need to click the rear switch. It is tactical, if I haven't mentioned that yet, so you do get momentary light by lightly tapping the bottom. Just give it a firm press to lock it in, and then the side switch will change the modes. And the side switch makes no noise at all. It almost has sort of a soft click to it, but it does change the modes well. Let me turn this other light off here. Alright, so right now we are in the lowest mode, and when you're looking at it in the house or inside, the beam has a little bit of a ring, has a couple of rings on the far edge, and it also looks a little blue. And the spotlight or the center beam is very much of a spotlight. Since this reflector is smooth, it does have a very spotted beam. It is not a flooded beam by any stretch of the imagination. So it goes a reasonable distance, being that it has such a defined spot in the center. Now as you're using it outside, of course the tint of the light will not seem quite as blue, and you won't notice the ring on the outer edge of the beam that much either. So this is the lowest mode, and click it again. There we have basically medium. And then here's the next mode, and here's the next mode, and here's the next mode. So it does get pretty bright, as you can tell, and again you can make out the ring on the side of the spill there, but you won't see that at a distance outside. That's more pronounced when you're using it at close quarters or at a close distance. And then clicking it again will just go back down to the low mode again. Now the flashing modes, you reach them by pressing and holding, and here is SOS, and then if I give it one more click, it'll move over to I'm sorry, yeah, strobe was first, and this is SOS. So a holding press will get you to strobe, and then a single press while it's on strobe will take it to SOS, and then if I click it again, it'll just go back to where it was. I'll just sort of keep doing this as long as I keep pressing it in that form. But and then turbo, I press it and hold it, and it'll go back to the first mode again. Now turbo you can reach at any time by double clicking, but as I say, it makes no noise when you hit the button, so, and then one click after that will take it back to low again. So a double click will get to turbo at any time, and the holding press will get to strobe, and then the single press after that will be SOS. So it's an easy to operate light, as you can see. Let me show you the pictures I took with it outside so we'll get a better idea of that. So hang on while we switch over to outdoor mode. So, hope those pictures were helpful. If you'd like to see more, a few more beam shots and so forth, and read about it, you can check out my written review, of course, at lightsandgear.com. There is a link in the description where you can pick this up from Amazon, and there's also a link in the on my written review as well, where you can pick this up on Amazon. Soonfire, and it is the DS35, which has been under the spotlight today. The one thing that I did find not so much strange but unfortunate is that the manual does not indicate what the LED is. So that I found to be a little bit annoying, because it's nice to know what kind of an LED the light you're using uses, and I can make a wild guess at what it might be, but I just thought, you know, it's nicer to have them identify it, but they haven't done that. So that's it for today with the Soonfire DS35. Check out my written review at lightsandgear.com, and let me know if you have any questions or comments on this particular flashlight. Anyway, thanks for watching today. Hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time. Take care. Have a good one.